Now, if you are dreaming of the ultimate garden next season, make your dream a reality. Frank is here with Garden Boot Camp. You are back with boot camp because you have to do it now. We've got 5 tips for a beautiful garden, and don't think because it's fall, it's time to like shut down the garden and not do anything anymore.
It's amazing. People in the fall just check out. They're like, oh, I'm done with the garden. I'm gonna walk. I don't want to look at it. Pretty soon it's gonna be covered with snow. I don't need to see it. But there are some things that we got to do at this time of the year that's gonna put us in a great position for next season, and that's the key. I do a lot of gardening work in the fall, because in the spring I'm quite busy, but in the spring I want to go do other things than be stuck in my garden the entire time.
Absolutely.
First thing you want to do, the perennial garden, and you know, this is when perennials start to look just like this. They start to die back. Of course, these are potted, but you can see that we have the bleeding hearts that's there. Some of the soft stem perennials we want to really take some time to cut them back, cut them down, clean them up. The reason why we don't want that debris sitting there is if that debris sat there during the winter months, that's going to create mold and disease and insects and things like that. This guy over here, the hosta, we cut him down too, but fall is also an excellent time where we could divide that plant and make that plant into 2 instead of 1, so we get free plants. You
can either put it in your own garden or you can share.
You can share.
Right? You can share with people who are admiring your plants.
So number 1, clean up.
Clean it up.
And that's cleaning up the garden, debris, leaves, broken things. The vegetable garden, any of those tomato plants, anything like that, clean it up. A clean garden is a godly garden. It's the one that's going to do good, right?
That's what you want.
Yeah. So number 2, this is the time of year, and this is what I pulled out just yesterday out of a neighbor's garden.
Oh, that's why people like living beside Frankie.
So this
he does your weeding.
Is weeds, right?
It's weeds.
Yeah, so the Garden of Weeden doesn't become the Garden of Eden if you don't weed.
That's right.
Right?
Yes.
So the key is in the fall time, if we don't weed, all these guys here are going to get flower heads and seed heads put on them.
Yes.
Those seeds then make contact to the ground. Then next spring, weeds are everywhere.
You have more weeds than ever before.
Yeah.
So you have to be weeding in the fall, everyone. It's not just a summer activity.
Yeah, and it could be a good exercise. You can lunge while you weed and get your, you know what I mean?
It's a never-ending exercise.
It really is. But just think of those coworkers you hate and you just go, and pull those weeds out. Not that I have any of that in my life. But
absolutely not.
Next up.
Step 3.
Yeah, so we talked about clean,
weed.
Now a little bit about pruning. So this here, the hydrangeas.
They used to be hydrangeas.
So the number 1 question I get asked all the time is when to prune a hydrangea.
Okay.
So there's 2 different types of hydrangeas. This one here, which is your white blooming, the piculatas. And then there's this one over here, which is, you see the leaf on that? See how it's a little bit of a larger leaf?
Yeah.
That's a macrophilia.
Okay.
This one here in the fall, I can cut them right down to the ground.
Really?
This one here, the macrophilias, if I cut it in the fall, I'm removing all next year's flowers.
How do you know that, though? Where do you look that up?
Really important. When you go to purchase them, you're actually looking on the tag, the variety that you're selecting. Generally, the pinks and the blues all bloom on old wood, meaning don't prune in the fall.
Okay. All right.
And you don't want to cut them back. All the whites, any of the white flowering ones, and even the cone-shaped ones, which are the PG varieties, those ones bloom on new wood. So in the fall you can prune, or in the spring you can prune. But really important things, we often prune after they bloom, because these guys here will be flower catchers, snow catchers, forgive me, and they'll bust and break things.
Yeah.
But sometimes we got to make sure the timing of when we're pruning is not going to affect next year's flower period.
Okay.
So really key is to make sure when you're pruning, you want to clean it up and everything, but just make sure you're not removing the blooms.
All right, so make sure you know what the variety demands of you. So clean up, weed, prune. Number 4.
Your lawn. So lawn, when it comes to the fall, early fall, we can do seed.
Yes.
Okay? During the fall, we still have to mow the lawn. And you want to make sure that you're cutting it a little shorter at this time of the year.
Why is that?
Because we're going to have a cooler temperature, and we don't want that blade of grass to fall over in the winter. If it's too long and we get snow and that blade falls over like this, it actually suffocate the lawn. So we want to make sure that we're cutting at a height about 2.5 inches.
Okay.
And that's going to be very important for you, that you're not going to cause any harm.
Big haircut.
You can top dress, overseed, things like that, as well fertilize. A fall fertilizer is important, and we want to put high nitrogen at this time of the year.
Okay.
Which is that first number. The reason why, it puts more sugars in the blades of the grass, which helps insulate it. You know how you have sugary water in a freezer, it takes longer to freeze?
Yes.
That's why we want to put more sugars into the blades, and we do that by doing nitrogen. So fall formulated fertilizer really important.
All the science. Okay, step 5. What do we do?
Right now, it is a fantastic time to get deals.
Okay.
I like a deal.
Deals.
So about 30 to 50% off in fall. You can get on your plant material.
Yeah.
Trees, shrubs, perennials, great time to plant. It's a great time to plant, and you can save tons of money, and the plants are going to be very successful as well.
Shocking for a lot of people to hear you need to be weeding and planting now, even though it's fall. Get ready for next season.